What is up? I just watched Fight Club. But not really, though. I didn't just watch Fight Club. I watched Fight Club for the first time last night. And I wanted to quick hop on here and just kind of randomly just talk about it and kind of give my thoughts about it. So, I'm a huge fan of David Fincher, the director. I mean, I have a video on this channel talking about The Social Network, rewatching that nearly almost a year ago at this point. But I hadn't seen Fight Club, and there's really no reason for why I haven't when I absolutely love Seven, Gone Girl, Zodiac, Social Network. Like, those four movies are like some of my favorites, specifically Gone Girl and Social Network. So, Fight Club has always been on the list, of course, because, it's Fight Club. Everyone talks about it. And going into it was very fascinating. I've wanted to watch it for a while, but yeah. So I'm gonna kind of go through things, I guess. I don't know where I'm kind of going with this. So my overall opinion is very positive. I spent most of the movie being like, this is pretty incredible. Um, that's mostly what my takeaway was yeah, this is pretty great. However, I think it kind of gets a bit convoluted in its ending and how it's kind of portrayed in the way it ends. I don't know how I feel about it. And I guess spoilers. I'll talk about spoilers because it's a big part of my watch here. Going into this, I actually knew the twist of the movie, which actually made this film really enjoyable. I wish I could have gotten a watch here where I didn't know what the twist was, but knowing the twist made things really cool because there's a lot of setting up of this twist and like very deliberate things with the screenplay, how they talk about things, even like the editing here with multiple frames. Like they it's interesting because it's fun because they allude to um Tyler Durden stitching frames into the film of like kids films of like pornographic images. But with this, they do the same thing with Tyler Durden at the beginning of this film. There are frames of shots with Tyler Durden in them, and it's really cool to see that and be like, "Oh, I know exactly what that is trying to say." But I think overall, this was pretty great. I think I think Edward Norton as this like leading man who, because of where the twist goes, makes it really exciting because he's very much like an unreliable narrator because you know he is doing everything. I really loved the score. I think that actually is one of the biggest shouts I want to give is to the Dust Brothers Fight Club score. Shit was incredible. I was like, I love this, and then I started doing more research and discovered that they are producers using a lot of sampling and were a major contribution to my one of my favorite albums, which is Paul's Boutique by the Beastie Boys. And kind of once I heard that connection and then hearing their sound, I like it was like, yeah. But yeah, I feel like I don't have a lot to say because so much of this movie has been tackled beforehand, I guess. Like, I mean, it's kind of up there with like Interstellar or American Psycho, where people watch this and get very much the wrong idea that it's like you're supposed to be idolizing the Brad Pitt character here. He's going against the system, and it's like it's a very fascinating film in the context of the time it came out, being the '90s. It's very fascinating in that aspect. But I just really enjoyed it as a just from like a screenplay perspective for the most part of just like these characters doing things, and I just like maybe it's the relatability of Edward Norton's character and just like dealing with sleep issues and like just stuff like that. I just like being a relatable like aspect to me. But like in general, it's just a pretty great film. I really love seeing like Seven like last year or whatever. I really loved the style that Fincher has in these like 90s films. I haven't seen like The Game yet, but I really kind of want to because it's like you got like Gone Girl, you have Zodiac, you have Social Network. Like those three movies are very stylistically similar in their visual palette and their like color grading and like the feeling. With like Seven and Fight Club, it has this very, you can tell like this was like 90s, like it just has that feeling, that oomph, that like I really just like the visual language that this film has, and it's just really enjoyable. I really want to check out The Game because like that looks pretty cool. And yeah, but yeah, Fight Club, I kind of want to read the book. I'm curious how the book is different than the movie itself. I'm curious how, because this does feel like a very book sort of feeling story. I mean, that's kind of where my biggest takeaway is like, yeah, that the performances are really great, but something about that script is just really impressive to me. But yeah, Fight Club is really good. I like obviously recommend it, and it is like a classic film that I feel like everyone should watch at some point in their lives. But it can't help but also just feel like I don't outwardly like love it. Like I don't think this is Fincher's best film. I think I think Seven is better. I think the Gone Girl, Social Network, and Zodiac. I think all three of those are better and just like vision and just speak to me a bit more. I guess in terms of like everything they're doing. But Fight Club is still really good, really impressive film. And yeah, Fight Club, pretty cool. I would probably give it like an 8 out of 10. It's a strong, strong film that, yeah, I mean, what else do I have to say about it? I guess, yeah, check it out.